This is a breaking news update from Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We begin with breaking news this evening.
3 Investigates has uncovered a 911 call placed by a concerned driver who says she saw concrete falling from I-75 at that bridge. The call was placed 3 days before the bridge collapsed. Channel 3's Tanisha Cordell joins us now with more on the call and TDOT's response. Tanisha.
Well, Cindy Latrice, acting on a tip, we dug into 911 records, dispatch logs, and internal emails. They show the warning call was made 3 days before the collapse, but TDOT maintains their stance that the bridge was and is safe. Hours after the driver of this blue Pontiac was injured in the Interstate 75 bridge collapse, TDOT engineers reassured the public.
No, the bridge is safe.
There was no reason for us to suspect anything like this would happen. Everything was in good condition.
But a 911 call placed 3 days earlier paints a different picture.
Concrete falling out from underneath the overpass. TDOT's closed, so this is at the split, 24 split, 75 East Ridge side, going toward downtown.
The caller, an East Ridge resident, called to report what she described as a chunk of concrete fall from the same bridge. After reaching TDOT's automated phone service, she turned to police.
There's big, huge, long chunks of concrete that are falling out.
Records show the 911 dispatcher called TDOT's Traffic Management Center immediately.
There are apparently pieces of concrete falling from the underside of the overpass.
3 days later,
section of the overpass has fell over onto the highway.
It looks like it fell on a car.
The next day, TDOT officials held a press conference to say an unknown oversized load hit the bridge, causing it to collapse. Hours later, the husband of the woman who called to warn TDOT sent Assistant Chief Engineer Joe Deering an email. He wrote in part, "After hearing about the incident on Monday, my wife called the East Ridge Police Department to see if her call was actually reported, logged, and that they did contact TDOT. The East Ridge PD did have record of her calling and of them contacting TDOT. Deering responds, thanking him for the information TDOT says it did follow up on before the collapse.
If there was something that warranted further investigation, then we would have closed it.
A spokesperson for TDOT points to dispatch records that show a help supervisor looked at the bridge when the 911 call came in and found no evidence of falling concrete. Jennifer Flynn says engineers who did not respond to the scene that day do not believe it was concrete that fell from the bridge. So what do you think fell? If it wasn't concrete, what was it then?
Well, some of our bridge engineers believe that it was some grout that is in between some of the concrete slabs that had just fallen. And when it hit the road, it just broke apart. Things deteriorate. I mean, and you know, the structures get age on them, and sometimes we have little bits and pieces of concrete that do fall down, and most of the time it's not of any concern. But
so
if it was
not alarming for grout to fall.
No.
The woman who called 911 describes what fell as being 2 feet long. She says it hit the center line of the interstate and broke into pieces. She also claims when she drove under the bridge the next day, she could still see what fell on the roadway. But TDOT says their help supervisor couldn't find anything, allowing the bridge to stay open.
I'm just lost at who to call to report it to because I don't want it to hit someone.
Well, Cindy Latrice, so much to unpack here.
Yeah.
Those records that we told you we uncovered from TDOT show that the TDOT dispatcher who took the call from police noted the wrong bridge. Now, we asked TDOT if they're sure that the help supervisor who checked that bridge went to the right location. Yeah. They acknowledged a mistake, but say that the supervisor checked all the bridges at that interchange. So again, they're acknowledging that, but again, maintaining that that bridge is and was safe. Now, coming up at 5, how does TDOT's reporting system work? We ran into the same problems that caller did when we called TDOT's number. You'll see that part coming up later at 5. For now, live in the studio, Tanisha Cordell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We'll look forward to that. Thank you, Tanisha.